Hey, what's going on, dudes? My name is Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit more about The Last of Us Part 2, because after my initial video yesterday, giving my initial thoughts, there was actually a really awesome panel discussion that happened between Game Informer's Andy McNamara, Neil Druckmann, who is the director for The Last of Us, Ashley Johnson, she plays Ellie, and Troy Baker, who plays Joel. And this happened for about 40 minutes. He got some information for us, and it's good information, and it really does put my mind at rest. So in the video that I made yesterday before this interview, I talked about how I believe that this is probably like 5 years after the original Last of Us, and that was confirmed last night. It is in fact taking place 5 years after the original game. Now, from this original trailer, when Joel walked into the house, a lot of people were theorizing that maybe Joel is actually dead and Ellie is just imagining him there. Now, this is something that I do want to talk about, but before we do, it was said last night during that panel discussion that you will be playing as Ellie for Part 2 throughout the majority, if not the entirety, of the game. So if this were to change at any point throughout the game where we're going to play as somebody else, they might take a small segment, similar to the original where you play as Ellie for a little while. Maybe you'll play as Joel for a little while, and that's just my thoughts on it. Now, Troy Baker actually went on to say that this entire scene that we saw was pretty much just made to hype things up. Like, it doesn't really have any connection to the actual story as of right now. It's just to show you that our survivors are there and well. But he never really goes on to talk about his specific character, and neither does Ashley Johnson, you know, the voice of Ellie. She never goes on to really talk about Joel either, except for their connection. So that does really have me worried that possibly this theory is reality. That's something that I can see Naughty Dog doing, unfortunately. And the whole reason this theory started originally was due to what Joel said, calling Ellie a kiddo instead of like Ellie or whatever like he normally does. And people were saying that maybe this is Ellie remembering the good times that she had with Joel. Maybe he started to call her kiddo. But honestly, the reason I feel like he's doing this is simply because they have grown up together. As weird as that sounds, they've grown up together. He has watched her and safeguarded her for all of these years. They grew incredibly close when he had his drastic accident and she had to take care of him. That was one of the most impactful parts of the game. And when this man tried to take just full advantage of little Ellie, and she just completely annihilated him, and Joel was there to comfort her and make sure that she was okay, that really brought them together. That brought them closer than ever before throughout the entirety of the game. So at that point, I feel like Joel really started to treat her as his own daughter. He really sees his own daughter in this girl. And I feel like he almost gets the impression that this is his daughter. I don't feel like any other parent would have said anything different. And I feel like kiddo is perfectly acceptable to say. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that he's not dead. He is alive and well. You're just going to be playing as badass Ellie for the second game. I think it's also safe to assume during the 5-year period, Joel at some point taught her how to play the guitar, and that's why she is playing the guitar in this small trailer that we have now. Now, one more thing that I do want to talk about for this video is the tattoo that she now has on her arm. In fact, it was kind of impressive because we did receive a poster back in September that shows her arm. She's got the knife that she was using in the first game. It says The Last of Us underneath. An amazing poster that was released by Mondo, and I think that they have an exclusive one right now at PSX that you're able to get. It never really made sense or clicked, but that design on her arm is the same exact tattoo that she has from that poster. And we started to make some connections, right? Like, what could this tattoo signify? How could it work? What is the point of it? And I really feel like the reason she got that tattoo was to cover all of her scars. Because if you remember, she's very self-conscious of showing her arm. She's very self-conscious of all of those scars that she has because she is immune to the infection. And of course, having the swirling patterns of the butterflies, the leaves, the foliage, that's going to cover all of those scars that she has on her arm. And this could have been a suggestion by Joel. He could have suggested to get this tattoo, that way she's a little more hidden. Obviously, the younger version of Ellie didn't have a tattoo. And obviously, in a post-apocalyptic world, you don't really have to be a certain age to get a tattoo. Laws don't really apply in The Last of Us. So she could have been 14 and got this tattoo. I mean, we're talking about a strong girl here, and Joel could have done this to simply protect her from the fireflies, and she might have done it on her own as well. She may have wanted to get this on her own. She probably didn't even tell Joel. There might be a whole scene in the second game where he discovers this tattoo, and then he gets pissed off because he's kind of acting like a dad, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that we're going to have some really heartfelt scenes, but I feel like there's a much bigger reason why she gets this tattoo, and only time will tell. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm extremely excited for The Last of Us Part 2. I can't wait to learn more information about it. If you guys want to check out the official panel that I was discussing earlier on, you can find a link down below in the description to the entire video. And they even show more than I discussed in this video here. They show some motion capture sessions and things of that nature. And I think that you guys are really, really going to enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, consider clicking the like button down below and subscribing for more videos coming very soon. Until next time, guys, I'll see ya. Peace.